David Bowman with Desert Chains. I'm the jeweler and owner of Desert Chains, and we're looking at a couple of quick videos, a few videos on how to turn images of ladies who've modeled my jewelry for me into something that will look great on my website. We've already put a nice white background behind her, and we got rid of all that acne on the bottom of her face. Didn't worry about the top because that's not going to go in the final image anyway. Really cleaned it up. Now we need to sort of tackle the rest of her body. We need to get rid of blemishes. We need to remove that little tattoo that's up there and just do some general cleanup all over this image. So I'm going to start by selecting my main tool over my main layer over here and get a brand new layer. I never really want to do anything on the main layer. I always want to do everything on layers, so if something really goes crazy, I can just toss it and start over. I don't want to actually destroy the original image. All right, so we've got our new layer, and let's get in here a little closer and see what we've got to work with. Most everything that we're going to do will work with the spot healing brush. The area that's going to be most difficult is that little tattoo that's under her hair. That's the real challenge for this part. And we'll get as close as we can. All right, so I've got my spot healing brush over here. And so let's just start hitting a few areas. I'm using a pressure sensitive brush, which is why I'm not filling up that whole area. But I can get in there pretty easily. Okay, so we took care of the little things on her neck, on her shoulder over here. Okay, let's try and tackle this tattoo. So I'm going to see if I can just grab this whole piece over here and get it all the way entirely inside of that selection area. And then I'm going to cross my fingers. Good. All right, let's do this one down here. Pretty close, not exact. We left a little bit. So let me see if I can adjust a bit better. Just keep re-hitting it to software to keep resampling it. That's pretty good. I've got this thing blown up so big. Some little straggly pieces left over from this. Go ahead and save while I'm thinking about it. All right, now let's start working our way across. Okay, now you notice that there's a hair that came right through it, and I got rid of that part of the hair, which makes this lower section kind of funny. So I'm going to go ahead and get as well. Then cuts off these down here, so I need to get those. Okay. Some little straggly pieces like that. Just tidying it up a bit. Tidying. All right. So you'll see it's a little hard to tell, but you might see that there's a pretty abrupt change between the light and the dark area there. So I'm going to go over here and get my healing brush tool and select by alt clicking this area below I just worked on. So alt to select my beginning point and click. Now I'm going to just kind of cover this in a bit, and then which already looks pretty good, but even to make it look better, I want to fade out some of the brush work that I just did. So I'm going to use my fade tool. I type Control Shift F, F for fade. I'm going to change it down to about 50%. So 50% transparent, what I just did. That only works on the very last brush stroke you just did. So if I do some stuff and then I release the mouse and I do some more stuff, try to fade it, only that second time is going to be affected by it. It affects the last time. All right, so back to my spot healing brush. This is going to be tricky, and I'm afraid it's going to end up looking a little smudgy, unfortunately, but we're going to work at it a bit, see if we can see how well we may have tidying up afterwards also. Let's see if we can get this one. Sort of dreading that part that's underneath. That's going to be key. But fortunately, you can see she has some shadow over here, and she has some shadow under her hair, and we can use that to our advantage. So if it ends up being a little smudgy, a little dark, it's really just going to look like part of that shadow. I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but this is what I do. Let's see if I can get just smudge that through. We've got another trick that we can use also, which we will get to in just a moment. So let me see if I can get that out of there. Not as I thought it would be. All right, so let me get the healing brush tool, and we're just going to add a little of the texture from above it into that area that's kind of smudgy. So let me alt click up here. I'll grab this part right. So alt better. So you'll notice that where that smudge was, so let me undo it. Where that smudge is, there's kind of a break in the hair above it and below it, and I need that to replicate through the area that I fixed. So I'm going to adjust for my reference point, just right above the hair, and then as my reference point moves, it also brings in that empty area. That helps a lot. A bit offset, so let me kind of hit it again. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Same for some of this up here. Big gap. And let's go back. This is the hard one. Let's go back and see if we just tidy up little straggly pieces that show through. Now, I've got this thing really blown up, and if I didn't, you probably wouldn't really be able to notice it. But might as well fix it since it wasn't too hard to. Now I need to make sure I haven't left, like, where I have fixed taken out some of the tattoo. I want to make sure that I don't have hair coming down, stopping, and then restarting below the fixed area. So I'm looking for some of those little stragglers. This used to be connected to hair, but I've cleaned up and gotten rid of that connection. Better, 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 better. While we're here, she's got one weird hair that just kind of comes off the side. That's just place. Get rid of it. So, go. Same thing for these crazy ones. Just sort of fell out of place over here. There. Okay. That already looks a lot better. So let's just see. Let me turn that off. So there she is with her tattoo, and there she is without her tattoo. With tattoo, without tattoo. All right. So from here, we're just going to kind of zip around very quickly and look for any odd things. Like she's got a little there. Here. There. Here. There. Everywhere. She's got a little scar here. You can't really see because it's under the hair, fortunately. In some of the other images, that scar really shows up. Here on her shoulder. All right. That. Just bop our way around. Oh, let's get rid of that bit of lint right there. 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 We ended up just getting some duct tape, bring it around backwards, sticky side out, then literally just patted her down all over to pick up a lot of that lint. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Like, trust me. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I got it. Right. And she grabbed her own bit of tape, and together we got all this cleaned up. But in some of these earlier images, we hadn't done that yet. So some little lint pieces all over. All right, I think that's pretty well got it cleaned up. Let's take a look at this hand down here very quickly. something right there. Too bad, not bad. Little splotch right there. That up. Splotches here, here. There. All right, I think that's got her pretty well cleaned up. So let's see where we are so far. All right, this is the before. And of course, a lot of these little things that we just did, you can't really see them in this view. They're just too small. But here is the after. So far, pretty good. I'm thinking pretty well happy with that. So in the next video, all we're going to do is one very short thing. We're going to get rid of that purple haze around the bracelet. Then in the final video, probably the final, come up here and we're going to paint her fingernails, but leave that nice sheen, make it match the color of her shirt. So there is definitely more to do. I hope you're finding this useful.